So Valtteri, yesterday went the way you wanted it. It's been so close in qualifying this year, always separated by a tenth one way or the other, but you're the pole man, so how does that set you up for today?
Yeah, yesterday was really good fun, and the lap was good enough at the end to get the pole, but it's far away from getting the job done yet. You know, it is about today, and there's going to be many obstacles getting the win, but I'm definitely ready for it.
Now, this is an unknown track to many of the drivers, quite a long drag down to the first corner, but there's not, as far as I know, a big difference left to right side of the grid. So, strategy for the start, just try and get your launch good and then run your race from there?
Exactly. So I think here it's going to be quite difficult to overtake, so you know, keeping the lead one way or another is going to be the key thing in the first lap, and same around the strategy. So, you know, no doubt Lewis wants to do something different, and I'm sure Max is going to play a part as well, so really need to keep focused and try to, you know, do the fastest way to the track.
Now, in terms of strategy, it seems that all the tyres are fairly durable, cooler conditions, of course, than we would normally be racing here. So is it going to be a little bit like last weekend in terms of what we're seeing stop-wise?
Yeah, it's pretty cold conditions. I mean, yeah, so you really need to keep the tyres in a good temperature, and then there's always risk if you know, start to wear the tyres that you have lockups and everything. So yeah, all those fine details I need to get right.
And then finally, if you'd like to say a few words and finish.
Aurinko paistaa ja kaikki valmista kisaa, että tietenkin mä uskon, että lähtö tulee olla aika tärkeä tänään, että on pitkä matka tuosta Ruudukosta ekaan mutkaan ja koitetaan pitää paikkaa ja sama strategian kanssa, että koitetaan vaan saada paras strategia, millä pääsee nopeiten ruutulipulle ja välttää kaikki virheet tänään, mutta ei se sen kummempaa. Normaalia kilvan ajoa ja koitetaan voittaa kisa.
Good luck today. So just coming to Lewis, sun is shining, your shades are looking good. How are you feeling for the race?
What?
How are you feeling? You're looking good, the sun is shining here in Imola.
Yes, beautiful day. Yeah, I'm excited. It's quite cool. So, but I'm excited about this race. I think it's no one knows what to expect today. That's the great thing about having these newer circuits this year. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to rack my brain on how I'm going to go about it.
Now, you don't need another victory. You've got plenty of them, but that's why you race. So do you approach this race in a different mindset? The championship is well within your grasp. You don't want to give a victory to your teammate, but
yeah,
second would be good enough.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the last race, naturally, you know, when I gave up that spot to Valtteri, you know, he has to win, is where I don't obviously have to win every single race or any of the races left over this year. However, that is what I exist to do. That's what I live for. So that's what I'm going to be working towards today. But naturally, not taking any risks. But I want to win, no less than ever before. So I'm looking at absolutely every detail into how I can potentially try and get past. It's not easy to overtake here. We've got this straight, but following it's quite tough here. Compared to the last race, you could take different lines through corners. Here is generally just one line through every corner, so it's going to be it's definitely be a challenge if he's up ahead. Then going to have to look at strategy. We've got these harder tires. I mean, I don't know why they don't just make much softer tires for the future, so we have to do more stops. The tires we've had for the last God knows how many years have just been so hard. So it's going to be a boring one stop for everyone today. I don't know how that is for fans, but for us it's kind of, I think it's boring.
Well, with the fans in mind, can you put them in the cockpit of this racetrack? How does it feel when you drive your Grand Prix car around Imola?
Well, you got the historic factor, you know, you go through turn 4 and, you know, Senna crashed there and that was really, and I remember seeing it on TV when, you know, back then, and I remember where I was that day. So you got that historical factor of it, and knowing I grew up watching Alonso racing here, winning those championships. I remember watching Michael obviously racing here, winning, and so it's you got that added factor. But it's, for some reason, the track is, you know, it's an older, better tarmac than we had, for example, than the new stuff that you have at races like the last race, and so it works with the tires much better. But there's more wear potentially, You know, in the last race we weren't overheating tires. As we're here, we might be overheating tires. But it's unbelievable how fast it is, and I wish you could feel it. It's like a fighter jet on wheels. It really is. The speed you go through turn 1 alone, and 5 and 6 and 7. Turn 9 is rapid. So yeah, it's really great. It's just, I don't know how fun it's going to be following today. It might just be a train, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we wish you luck, and thanks for that description.
Cheers.
Hi, Charles Leclerc. Maybe not the qualified did you expect in Imola, but the race is today, and it will be full attack.
Of course, as always. I mean, starting from P7, we probably expected something better, but at the end, yeah, it's not that bad after all. Today is the race. It's today where we score points, and I'll try to give my best to do the best result possible.
Where and when on this track you think that you could have your opportunities to attack?
Well, the start is always important. After that, we'll have to see, because I think we are all going a bit into the unknown again this weekend, especially with overtaking, because we've had only one free practice, so it's not like we've seen many overtakes yet. But yeah, I'll try to give my best and overtake as many cars as possible.
And now in your own language.
In which language? French,
French,
or
then
okay,
Italian.
Ouais, bah alors hier une journée un petit peu plus compliquée en qualification, mais bon, aujourd'hui c'est la course, c'est maintenant qu'il faudra mettre les points. Le départ va être très important, et ensuite j'espère en une course positive.
Your best language is Italian. So come on.
Sì, beh, ieri forse avrei voluto fare un po' di più che settimo, però alla fine è andata così. Oggi è la gara, oggi è dove si mettono i punti, dunque proverò a dare il 200% come sempre, e proviamo a portare un risultato buono a casa.
How we say in Italy, bocca al lupo.
Crepi.
Crepe, bravo. Hi Seb, nice to meet you again. So I know that you are a Formula One history lover, so I would like to know what it means for you to be here in Imola. We saw you Friday to go there at Tamburello. What it means?
Well, I think I remember being here in 2006. Obviously, I wasn't taking part in the racing or anything on the track, but I think it's been my first time, and I really like the track first of all. And obviously, like you said, there's a lot of history in this place, good and bad history. So I think everybody who is following Formula One knows Imola as well.
The goal today is to score much more points. It's possible to do.
Yes, it will be difficult from where we start, but yeah, let's hope we have a good first lap and then take it from there.
Probably with a different strategy, you can choose the tire.
Well, I mean, most of the top 10 cars will be on the soft, so we have the free choice, and for sure we are, trying to think of the possibilities and the advantages that that might bring.
Seb, on your language.
Ja, ich freue mich aufs Rennen. Ich glaube, die Strecke macht auf jeden Fall Spaß. Überholen wird schwer heute. Ich glaube, dass wir schneller sind als die Autos um uns herum. Aber ja, ich denke, der Start wird wichtig, die erste Runde, und dann lassen wir uns überraschen. Anzahl der Stopps erwarte ich einen Stopp. Deswegen schwer, einen großen Unterschied zu machen. Aber wir werden auf jeden Fall alles probieren, um ein paar Punkte mitzunehmen.
In 10 seconds in Italian? In Imola? Yeah.
No, allora mi dispiace che siamo qui senza tifosi, ma in questa condizione in Italia, in Europa, in tutto il mondo è difficile, però abbiamo una gara, provo di fare bene e prendere un poco di punti. Certamente è difficile di dove partiamo, ma proviamo tutto.
Alex, reasonable qualifying yesterday. The gap between yourself and Max closer than it has been, so I assume you're feeling good ahead of the race?
Yeah, it was okay. Obviously you want more, but otherwise it was a relatively smooth session. Limited track time, of course, but yeah, I mean, P6, it was close out there. 110 would have put us P4, so would have liked to start a bit further out, but we've got a good race car, so we'll see.
Now, this is a new track to everyone. You did race here many years ago, but you said that you don't remember, so it obviously didn't make an impact in your memory at that time. How is it feeling to drive a Grand Prix car around at this time?
Quick. I mean, I drove it in 2012, but that feels like a dream. I don't know if it's reality or not. But it's a cool circuit in these cars especially. I mean, the corner speeds are huge, and it's one of them low error, or how do you say it? High risk, high reward? Low risk, high reward. No, high risk, high reward. Okay. But it is a good track, and I just love coming to these kind of circuits. I think we need to come for more.
In terms of where you are on the grid, anything you can do strategy-wise, doesn't seem to be a high degradation on the tyres, so maybe everyone will be towards a one-stop.
Yeah, I mean, the ones on mediums, starting on mediums, will be in a better shape, but the cars around me, we're all starting on softs apart from Charles, I think, so we'll have to see. It will be a one-stop, but seeing what everyone else does.
Okay, we wish you luck today.
Thank you.
We'll just jump over to his teammate. Max, how are you?
Not too bad.
Good. Well, you're in your familiar qualifying slot. After the morning practice session, it looked like it might have been a bit closer with Mercedes. So the spark plug issue you had, did that just lose you a bit of momentum, or do you think that was the real gap?
No, it was definitely not the real gap. I mean, I didn't expect to beat them, but yeah, we should have been a bit closer. But it's what it is. I mean, I'm still in my normal position, so we'll just try to have a bit of a clean start, see if we can follow them or be competitive, and try to be on the podium again.
Launch-wise, it's quite a long run to the first corner, although there's obviously some kinks on the way down there. It's not a classic overtaking slot, so it may well be that it's not until Tosa that you can get an opportunity to pass.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's always a bit tricky to say what's going to happen in the start or whatever. It's quite narrow as well into turn 2, but at the end of the day, it's not all one at the start anyway. It's more that you can lose. So yeah, just let's see. I hope that we have the pace to be with them, but overall, I think they should be normally a little bit faster than us.
And now a few words for your adoring Dutch fans.
Ja, natuurlijk gisteren derde plek was prima. Natuurlijk hadden we liever iets dichterbij gestaan, maar vandaag natuurlijk alle kansen nog. Ik verwacht zelf dat de Mercedes-auto's natuurlijk iets sneller zijn dan ons, maar als we gewoon weer op het podium kunnen staan, dan zou dat goed zijn.
Hi Carlos. So you will start from the 5th row. We have seen last Sunday that you were in first position after the start. You will try something like that today?
No, unless it rains, but it doesn't look like it's going to rain today. So no, especially here, it's a very narrow track, very difficult to overtake, but at least we'll try to get a good start of the line and get ourselves into a good position for the first stint.
How much could it be difficult the first corner after 500 meters and more to arrive there all together?
Very tricky because we will arrive very fast into turn 2, I think it's called. Also, it's a very narrow, these cars are very big. It's the first time or the first start that we do in Imola for 15 or something years. So yeah, for the drivers, it's going to be a bit of a new experience, a bit of a different start than what we are used to. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Which experience is it to be here in Imola? This track Enzo Ferrari called the little Nürburgring.
Yeah, I can see why. I mean, the track, it's incredible. Yesterday, driving it in qualifying was probably one of the most impressive experience that I've had as a driver, as a Formula One driver. I've never felt the speed of a Formula One car as much as I did yesterday, and it really, I don't know, it really impressed us drivers, I think, quite a lot, this track. So it's something we miss from the new tracks nowadays. It's something that we don't really understand why we cannot replicate when we go to new tracks, but this something really has something special.
On Spanish.
Yeah, perdón. Sí, creo que ayer fue un día un poco difícil para nosotros como equipo. Salimos 9º y 10º. Creo que tenemos mucho trabajo por delante hoy. Intentaremos salir bien, ponernos en buena posición y sobre todo intentar remontar un poco, que nuestros rivales directos Algunos están por delante, algunos están por detrás, pero tenemos que asegurarnos que cogemos buenos puntos.
Thank you, Carlos. Lando Norris. We say in Italy, super Lando. So we wait something super today from you on this track.
I will try, yeah. It's not going to be easy. I think from 9th position it's not bad, but we would have liked to be a little bit higher. So it's going to make turn 2 probably a little bit more difficult with a lot of cars around us. But a good opportunity to try and go forward and overtake some cars and to have a good race. So I'll see what I can do.
The question is, it's possible to overtake on this track. We have the same question on Mugello, on Portugal, and we have seen that it's possible.
For sure, I want to say this track is a little bit more normal with the overtaking. Portugal was very different, so it will be difficult. I don't think it's going to be easy, especially in the first stint, but there are some factors which can lead to overtaking. So depending how well you look after the front tires or the graining in general, and how big DRS is. I think DRS is big, it's a long straight, but it's not easy to follow in the last 2 corners. So we'll see what we can do. I think once you have some tire advantage and you look after the tires maybe a little bit better or in a different way, then it's possible, but it's not going to be easy.
You are so strong, you are so young, and I would like to know how much is it common for you, this kind of track, to be in Imola, the history of Imola?
It's amazing. It's one of the tracks I remember watching. Actually, I think probably 2006 was the last time I watched a Formula 1 race in Imola. And it's amazing. And these cars, it's really incredible. It's difficult to explain to people watching. And to anyone who doesn't drive a Formula 1 car, what it's like. Things happen so quickly. It's hard to keep up visually and remember what's going on. A lot of it is just you turn in and hope for the best. So it's an amazing experience, and I'm sure it's going to be good fun today.
Thank you.
Yeah, here we go.
So Daniel, we've just heard from your teammate for next year, Lando Norris. That boy can talk.
Talks too much.
Well, thank you for that very economical answer. Imola, reasonable qualifying yesterday, but it doesn't seem maybe that you've got the underlying pace that we've seen in some of the other tracks. So what's your expectation today?
Yeah, I think we pulled out a good one to get us up the front for today. So starting 5th, I'm excited. Yesterday was my first taste of the track. It was a lot of fun. So didn't really get a long run in, but today, yeah, obviously I think everyone's in a similar boat. So once we get started, try and go long on the soft, hang in with the guys at the front on the medium if we can, and yeah, just have fun. I don't know. It's probably a one-stop, so not much else going on.
What about, actually, you touched on the fact that, limited running, 2-day weekend. How actually do you feel about that? Are you perfectly happy to have a compressed weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. It puts pressure on us drivers and obviously also the team to find the right setup. We don't have the luxury of time now. And look, I think if it worked on a circuit that we haven't been to before, then going to a place like Barcelona, for example, it should be even more effortless or easier. So if we can make it work here, then I think we can make it work most places. But I would request we get to the extra day in Monaco, just because that's fun, and that would be good.
Pre-race prep, lots of hydration, bit of carbs, anything particular that you get up to?
Yeah, just try and get, as you say, eat well, get some fuel in. I really like the G-force meter on the cars now. On the onboards, I think fans and that can see how physical it is. So it's important to fuel up, and then I'll just go through some stretches, loosen up a little, listen to music, dance, and have some fun.
Excellent. Well, we wish you luck today. Enjoy.
Thank you.
So moving on to Esteban. You're right there, nip and tuck between you and Daniel. It looked like it could have gone either way in terms of who had bragging rights in the team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's really tight at the moment in that midfield battle. I think 1 or 2 tenths can be, from P5 to where I am today. So it is tight, but the opportunity will come. Even though we are starting out of the points, I think it's interesting to have the choice of tires today. it is quite cold. We don't have much information with the limited running, so it's going to be interesting. And yeah, the aim is to get back in there and fight, obviously, for the third position in the constructors.
I saw Fernando this morning. He's been here listening and learning. Does that have any impact on your weekend? The fact that your teammate for next year is basically he's spying on your data.
No, it's a good thing, you know, to see Fernando. Obviously, he's preparing himself, you know, to get ready for next year. He has tested the car, so he had some feedback already from it, and he gave it to us. It's good to have, you know, 3 just comparison in feedback, and to have 3 confirmation basically other than 2. So yeah, I would say it's a good thing that he's already here, and we'll see more and more him often on the track. So.
2 words in French, please.
Bien sûr. Non, je pense que même si ça n'a pas été une super journée en qualif hier, je pense qu'on a toutes les possibilités, les opportunités pour revenir en course aujourd'hui. Voilà, la stratégie, ça va payer parce qu'on va pouvoir choisir nos pneus neufs pour le premier stint. Et c'est un circuit voilà, qui ne pardonne pas aux erreurs, donc il va se passer plein de choses et notre but, c'est de revenir dans les points.
Daniel, welcome in your own Grand Prix, and it seems that AlphaTauri is quite strong and could be an amazing race today.
Yes, thanks. It's indeed feels like a home race for me and for the team. I think yes, I think the pace of our car was very convincing and strong yesterday, and today we hope to take it with us in the race. And I think there are all the opportunities there to be taken, and we'll do our best to try and use those opportunities.
You talked about opportunities. When and where you think that you could have? At the start maybe, or would be a chaos?
Everything can happen, as we know, at the start, but also we need to be able to take opportunities strategically if there will be something going on with the in that respect. We will see if there will be some mix of strategies or if everyone will use similar strategies. We don't know yet. We'll have to see again. It's a new track for everyone, and we'll have to learn very fast and make some decisions during the race.
On your language.
Квалификация вся прошла хорошо, и мы стараемся сделать все, что в наших силах, чтобы сильно провести сегодня гонку.
Thank you, Danny. And Pierre is talking at the PR office. Ciao, Pierre.
Ciao.
So I know that you scored the podium here in 2013. It's time to repeat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, last time here was good. Was a couple of years ago, but yeah, now we're starting in a good position. Italy this season seems to treat us quite well, so yeah, hopefully for another time we'll see what we can do this afternoon. Yeah.
You will start. You will be the first with the soft tire. So the question is, full attack or use your hand?
No, obviously always full attack. After we just need to be conscious of our race. We know that the Mercedes, you know, the last race they lapped us, the race before they probably lapped us as well. It's a different race at the front than we have for us. But yeah, we need to grab every opportunity because you never know what can happen. We saw it many times this year. So now it's full attack. Obviously we'll be racing mainly with Daniel, Charles right behind. And that will be our race, and I really hope we can keep them behind and have a strong race.
Particularly with that incredible helmet that you wear. It is incredible to think that you are so fan about Ayrton that you are born in '96.
Yeah, you know, it's obviously I didn't have the chance to see everything he has achieved live in Formula 1, but you know, from all the documentary, the people who has worked with him, mechanics, engineers, people surrounding him. For me, I just learned about him that way, and yeah, really huge respect and big fan of everything he's done, and also the personality, the mentality. He was such a strong character, I think way bigger than Formula 1, and yeah, his talent was just yeah, incredible. So no, big fan, and obviously coming here in Imola for me was important to make this gesture to remember one of the best of all time in F1.
on your language here.
Oui, du coup on a une bonne qualif. Hier, ma meilleure qualification avec cette écurie, on part en 4e place cet après-midi. Donc j'espère que vraiment pouvoir obtenir pas mal de points. C'est vrai que cette année l'Italie a l'air de plutôt bien nous traiter, on va dire, entre Monza et là, hier la qualif. Je me suis vraiment bien senti dans la voiture et j'espère qu'on va pouvoir aller décrocher un très bon résultat cet après-midi.
Lance, it didn't seem as if the Racing Point was as hooked up on this racetrack as we've seen at some of the others. So can you just put us in the cockpit, explain where the challenges were?
Yeah, I mean the others, have developed their car over the year, become a lot more competitive. So it's tight between all the midfield teams. I think there was like 1/10 separating P11 to like P5 in qualifying there in Q2. So it's very tight. On my side, just lacking some pace yesterday. Not really, extracting everything out of the car. There was definitely a lot of lap time left on the table. So that was a bit frustrating, but sights are set on today. It should be an interesting race with tire strategy and stuff. We're gonna start outside the top 10, so we have a free choice, and that could mix things up. So looking forward to it.
When you mention about the opportunity that comes from strategy, it seems that a lot of people are expecting one stop. That in itself might limit the opportunity for you unless you can go long or you can undercut. So is it really a case of playing it by ear and you sort of driving to the engineers what the feeling is when you're on track?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what the soft tire is going to do today, so the top 10 are going to have to start on the soft, and we can do something alternative on a different tire. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But in Portugal, for example, the soft tire was a very difficult tire, and the top 10 starters really struggled. So maybe that could be the case today. We don't know. We'll just have to play it by ear and see what happens.
Okay, well, have an enjoyable afternoon.
Thanks.
Sergio, so similar first question as to Lance in terms of it is tight, of course, the qualifying, but it just didn't seem as if you were on the front foot in terms of the pace of the car. Was that just a balance issue, or?
No, actually the balance was pretty good yesterday. I think this track is not our favorite one, given how tight the margins are. We saw the AlphaTauri dominating the middle grid, so next race might be us, might be Renault. Everything is so tight that it's sometimes a bit of track related. I think we know our issues from yesterday, but also we know that today we can be strong. We focus a bit more on the race, and today we can be strong in the race.
Well, with this two-day weekend, how did that actually change the strategy of free practice? You had that single 90-minute session, so was there less full tank running as you were focused on quality?
You find out things after qualifying that you thought, well, if I had the practice, I would have found them before. So I think it's a great challenge for the teams and also for the drivers. You don't have so much time to get up to speed.
Few words in Mexican, please.
Sí, bueno, ya tenemos una buena oportunidad el día de hoy, aunque arrancamos 11avo, creo que podemos hacer una buena carrera desde ahí. Va a ser muy difícil rebasar, pero creo que tenemos una buena estrategia para sumar puntos importantes el día de hoy.
Antonio, obviously not the qualifying that did you expect, but they're proud to be here in Italy for the third time, and it will be the 100th race in Italy, this for Formula 1. So from behind you have to come up.
Yes, I'm really proud to be here for the third time this year, especially in this nice track like Imola. Yesterday was I think one of the best tracks I drove in Formula 1. Like you say, unfortunately the qualifier was not one of the best. It was a little bit too much traffic, but today we need to have again a good first lap, good strategy, and see what we can do from there.
Not easy the start, more than 500 meters to arrive to the Tamburello chicane, and then there, what will happen?
yeah, hopefully can happen something, you know, because starting from the back and with the pace, you know, we don't know actually our pace I was hit because yesterday I had the issue in FP and I didn't run in high fuel. But yeah, hopefully it can happen something in turn one and we can gain position there. And then we need to just make sure that we have the best strategy over there.
Antonio, in italiano, il nostro orgoglio in questo momento anche per l'Italia, per tutta l'Europa, tutto il mondo difficile, un tuo messaggio e poi le tue sensazioni e la tua carica per questo Gran Premio.
Ma sì, hai detto benissimo, in questo momento la situazione in Italia, come in tutto il mondo, non è delle migliori, però io sono orgogliosissimo di essere qui in Italia per la terza volta quest'anno. Credo che l'Italia ha dimostrato di avere non solo un circuito per ospitare un Gran Premio di Formula 1, ma ben tre, di cui due super fantastici come il Mugello e Imola. Ieri secondo me è stato uno dei circuiti più belli in qualifica questo qui, quindi dobbiamo essere orgogliosi di noi stessi e continuare a combattere. Dalla mia cerco di combattere sempre, oggi sarà sicuramente una gara difficile, però come ho detto non mollo e combatterò sempre.
Grazie. Hi Kimi, nice to meet you again here in Imola. I would like to start from your Instagram story. I am not leaving. You will be here also next season.
Yeah, obviously we sign a contract for next year, and yeah, hopefully we can be better off next year and fight where we hope to be more in the points all the time, and but the time will come.
We have seen something amazing last Sunday with your start, incredible start. You think that could be possible today to do something similar?
Well, this is track layout, depends a lot from that, and it's gonna be difficult here. I think the conditions are a lot more, let's say, normal here, so I doubt it's possible. I think it's much more narrow, the first corners, and less kind of options to do different things, but you know, hopefully we make a decent start and stay out of any issues in the first corners and go from there.
On your language, Kimi, thank you.
No, katsotaan mitä tänään käy, että vähän vaikea sitä tulee olemaan, että toivottavasti saadaan suhteellisen startti ja pysytään ongelmista poissa edellisellä.
Kevin, quite a challenging day yesterday by the looks of it. Different challenges in this racetrack, a bit more curb hopping than we'd see at some other circuits, which look particularly difficult for your car.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really cool track. You know, it's really got character, and as you say, the curves, for example, is one thing you can really gain a big advantage if you can use the curves properly. And you know, some of the newer tracks, they just have these standard flat curves, and you know, it's less of a challenge. So even though it wasn't to our advantage, it's still, you know, some of what makes this track so good.
It's going to be, I guess, a long afternoon. Everyone's expecting one stop. That limits the opportunity for you to do anything.
Yeah, it's a long pit lane, so you lose a lot of time in a pit stop, which means you gotta make a one-stop work. And yeah, we're starting 17th, so it's gonna be a long race.
A few words in Danish, please.
Ja, starter langt nede og prøver at tage nogle placeringer i starten, men det er en lille smal bane, så det kan blive svært.
Thank you. So Roman, same sort of script for you. It was challenging this circuit. Fun to drive seems to be the underlying feeling of the drivers, but I guess it would be more fun if you had more pace from the car.
For sure. But luckily here it's like Mugello, where even with not the fastest car, you still enjoy driving the track. Compared to other places where it's less fun if you don't fight at front. So at least we have that, and you know, let's see how the race goes. We haven't had much practice here, so maybe there's a bit more uncertainty and things happening that give us a chance to get close to top 10.
Now you, along with the other teams, have very sophisticated strategy tools which will simulate where your expected race result will be. What can you, in best case scenario, achieve this afternoon?
It's not good looking. It's not good.
I'm sorry to laugh, but I love your honesty.
No, I hope they're wrong, and I sometimes I've proven the software is not as accurate as it should be.
Well, we certainly hope that's the case for you this afternoon. Now, a few words in French, please.
Ouais, effectivement, très content d'être à Imola. C'est un circuit assez magnifique. Donc, c'est vrai qu'on n'a pas la voiture la plus rapide, mais même dans ces conditions, la piste est très agréable. Donc, avec une seule séance d'essai libre hier, peut-être qu'il y a un peu moins de certitude en allant sur la course. Et dans ce cas, on va essayer d'utiliser l'expérience qu'on a et d'optimiser le pilotage, la stratégie et essayer de se rapprocher du top 10.
Bonne chance.
Merci.
Hi George, for the 8th time on Q2, that's amazing, and maybe a big opportunity to be close to score first point.
Let's hope so. You know, this is what we're working towards. We know we are fast on the Saturday, but the points are scored on Sunday. So realistically, we are fighting with the Haas and the Alfa Romeo, but we have Sebastian and Stroll behind. The speed in the straight is fast from us, so I will be getting my elbows out and hopefully we can keep them behind.
We have seen that you have a lot of speed on the first sector, so it could be the key of this Grand Prix for you to attack and not to defend.
I mean, I'm really enjoying this circuit. As Kevin was saying, to be able to use the curbs, you can gain a lot of speed, and I really had the confidence in the car to attack the circuit. So we were flying in sector 1, which was nice. And I think this will be important to be able to fight today to keep the cars behind or to try and attack in front.
More than 500 meters to go to the first corner, and
an opportunity, I hope. A good start is important. It is quite narrow here, so it limits the opportunity, but I think we will be in full attack on the opening laps.
Did you ask something to Nicolas? He scored a podium here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here 2 years ago. He scored the podium.
2012, yeah, I had my first podium in cars here, yeah.
Formula 3.
Yeah, Italian Formula 3, yeah.
So you have to remind how to drive, to jump in front.
Yeah, I think maybe today it's not going to be so realistic, but yeah, I mean, from my first year, I kind of found my way around the track, kind of knew how to extract a good lap time. But yesterday was tricky. It was a very close qualifying on the wrong side of 110, but very excited for the race. I think it should be, I mean, a lot of unknowns, not a lot of practice time, new track relatively for everyone, so we'll see what it creates for the race.
Why this track is so demanding?
I think, you know, it's very old school. It's very narrow in places. The way the curbs are, you can find a lot of lap time from using them in the correct way. You know, most of the tracks you race on now, they're all kind of just flat curbs, so you can just kind of, you know, everyone uses the same amount. So here you can really experiment quite a lot. Obviously, gravel, tarmac, runoff in some areas, let's say, not a lot. And yeah, it just gives a more of an old school vibe, so it's nice. Bumpy in some places. Yeah.
So, enjoy Imola.
Yeah.
Thank you.